Well, this is the mother load right now. We've gone a few times when places say they give their list of stuff you have to say differently. This one is the most out of control. So the main considerations: addict, you're not supposed to say. You're supposed to say person with substance or disorder. Person with substance use disorder. Do you think you'd say that? He goes, you're like, he's a bit of a person with substitute use.
A fucking person with substance use.
It's just so funny though. I always say it's like, if you want to replace a word, give them a better word. They want to replace one word with 7 words.
Yeah, like a sentence.
Using first person language makes them not defined by it. So in addicted, you should say devoted, which that one was probably my favorite. When you go, guy's a bit devoted to crack. I guess you could say that though. You're not like a sex addict. I'm just devoted to pussy.
I will say like as much as to trivialize this, and I don't know if that's a word you're allowed to use, but if trivialize is okay. But
we don't know. We'll get there. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. But like, this took a lot of effort to put this together.
Much. This was someone got paid $200,000 a year.
Way
to do this
more
bullshit.
than one person. This is like multiple people.
Yeah, this was a lot of money went into this bullshit. Just proving the universities have way too much money and they cost too much money.
Not enough to do.
So instead of addicted, devoted was probably my favorite. Just being like, yeah, the guy's a little bit of a devoted to pussy. Mm-hmm. Instead of a sex addict. He's devoted to crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Devoted to alcohol. So basket case, I already mentioned this on the main episode when we did that, originally referred to one who's lost all 4 limbs and therefore need to be carried around in a basket. Do you want to know what they replaced basket case with? Say that they're nervous. See, if you're dating, it's like because you'd be like, you have a friend that's like, he got in a bar fight. He shows up. He's yelling and screaming on the case. You go, yeah, he's a bit of a nervous.
He's a bit of a nervous. The thing is like, if some of these etymologies or some of these words are so far removed from society, you're like, there's no people who are lost all 4 limbs who are being carried around in a basket anymore.
Yeah, and if they are, that's not a slur to them saying basket.
But there's like, so who are we protecting with this? Like, who are they protecting? Like, just the people who this happened to in the like Middle Ages?
Yeah, we all know. It's like the person that you just like to be careful with them. The guy's a bit of a basket case. You go, it also was
crazy women.
If you went to them and you go, just be careful with that chick. She's a bit nervous. And you go, oh, okay. You would literally have the wrong information.
Yeah. You're going to say she's crazy.
But for all the amount of money that went into this, you think that they could have found out better synonyms. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So basket case is nervous. Blind review is anonymous review. And it unintentionally perpetuates the disability is somehow abnormal or negative. That's always my favorite thing. They go, somehow perpetuates the disability is somehow abnormal or negative. And you go, it is both objectively abnormal and negative.
Yeah.
You go, if someone's blind, that's not negative. And you go, do you think there's a single blind person in the world who'd be like,
sick.
Yeah. You go, oh, that's negative that you're blind.
Yeah,
you
like
go, that's actually better, except for the superhero.
They're conflating like the whole thing of like, we shouldn't, nobody's saying we should punish them for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not negative in that sense where you should be like, it's negative.
They shouldn't be treated negatively.
But it's like, it is objective.
If anything, I think anyone would be like, if a disabled person came in, you go, yeah, you'd probably treat them nicer and oh, do you need anything?
Yeah.
But you're like, to say that it's not worse to be blind, you go, I'm pretty sure it's worse to be blind, pal. So that was a blind review. It literally is, the blind review is to describe something, because anonymous review would be like, it's anonymously you, but isn't blind review when you like a blind taste test, for example? It's like that means your eyes aren't. You don't have your eyes.
Yeah, you don't have your eyes. You don't know.
Blind study. They want masked study. Committed suicide. So you don't want to say committed suicide. You want to say died by suicide, because this trivializes the experience of people living with mental health condition. But how? But he did commit suicide.
Yeah, he did. Well, they just don't want to say commit.
Why? Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Because this person's, I
guess.
Because some people are committed and they can't help it.
Yeah.
There might be some basket case that's committed.
He's committed, but he goes, just because I'm committed doesn't mean
There's something wrong with being committed. There's nothing wrong with being committed to an insane asylum.
No, there's not.
Oh, yeah, what? You're thinking that there's somehow something wrong with me just because I've been committed to an insane asylum?
Imagine trying to like just change.
There's something abnormal about being committed to an insane asylum.
How would you possibly even apply all of these to a person? Like, how would you change everything you know about?
If you say they're confined to a wheelchair, you say they're a person who uses a wheelchair. He's a person who uses a wheelchair because it helps define people not just by one of their characteristics. So he's a person who uses a wheelchair.
You can't even call something like a walk-in clinic.
They don't want walk-in clinic?
No, it's a drop-in.
Why? Oh, because some people don't walk in
Some people don't
there.
walk, Ryan.
Some people
How's stand-up comedy not on here?
They must.
Well, they have
stand-up
stand-up meeting
comedy
on here.
Crazy they don't like. You should say, instead of saying they're crazy, you say they're surprising. So if a chick, you go, she's a little bit surprising. Let's just say she's nervous and surprising.
Nervous and surprising and wild.
She's a little bit of a nervous, surprising woman. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
To use the language you'd want me to use, let's just leave it at that. She's nervous and surprising.
Yeah.
A cripple, you say personal with disability. I don't think a lot of people say they're a cripple, but crippled, you say they're impaired or weakened. He's weakened. You don't want to say dumb. You say non-vocal or non-verbal. Well, yeah, no one.
What are you, fucking non-vocal, bud? Just doesn't have the right ring to it.
But yeah, also people don't use not dumb to describe someone that can't speak anymore.
No.
That's old school. It was once described a person who can't speak. So if someone's dumb, you say they're non-verbal. Handicap parking, you say accessible parking because they're not handicapped. Insane.
I don't know handicap.
They like surprising and wild because insane, you also say surprising and wild. Let's just say she's both surprising, wild, and nervous.
And nervous.
So now surprising and wild means insane and crazy.
Yeah.
What's a scenario where you'd be calling someone insane where you say they're surprising and wild?
I mean, if they threw some shit at you.
Let's just say she's a little surprising and wild in the membrane. Surprising in the membrane.
Surprising wild in the membrane.
Wild in the brain. Lame, they don't like. We already covered that in a million things. Mentally ill. OCD, you say they're detail oriented. So sort of a positive spin on that.
That is a very positive spin. Yeah, the guy's so detail oriented he can't ever leave his house. Just because of his detail oriented nature.
That guy's so fucking detail oriented. Every time he goes home, he has to organize all these things alphabetically and then unorganize
Ruined
them.
his whole life.
Yeah, he's
so detail oriented.
He needs to, every time before he finishes playing basketball, he needs to, touch the rim 45 times. And then he actually brushes his teeth 14 times before he goes to sleep because he's so detail oriented.
Yeah, very detail oriented.
Paraplegic, you say person with a spinal cord injury. So they like person with the thing instead of the thing.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Instead of retard. Okay, ready? So this is a comedy because a lot of people say retard in comedy.
Yeah.
Ready? So they go, what is this? That guy, person with cognitive disability?
Person with autism, neurodivergent person.
So that doesn't have the same ring to.
Yeah.
So retarded, they want you to say he's boring or uncool. Not really a synonym.
I guess.
That's a funny one though. Instead of saying like, what are you, fucking boring or uncool?
Yeah, what are you, uncool? What are you, fucking uncool?
What are you, some kind of uncool person? What are you, boring?
They like. I would just be so much to figure out.
There's some really good ones.
You need like someone. I think their goal is to get someone at every office who's just kind of like snoops around everywhere and just kind of
hears words.
people.
He goes, "That's a good one."
No, corrects people. Like because you
have a professional snoop at every office.
Just to correct yourself on this is going to take so long.
Sanity check, confidence check, or coherence check, or fact check. So if you say a guy needs a sanity check, what you really need to say, he needs a confidence check.
Confidence check.
None of these are good synonyms. Spaz, you should say they're clumsy, but that's not why you use spaz. Stand-up meeting, that's you already said. Quick meeting. A walk-in's a drop-in, wheelchair bound. So that's ableism. So the ableism's a big one. So ageism's the next one. So this one was funny. They don't want you to call someone a gray beard.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that?
Calling someone a gray beard?
Do you know how that? You're right,
yeah, I'm here. I was just bouncing around. Yeah, I know gray beard. I've heard it. I don't know. It seems like not a slur.
They're saying gray beard was apparently for old people. Have you called someone a gray beard?
Never.
So they're big on that. They go, it calls out older people. So if you go, you're cyberbullying someone by calling them a gray beard.
So just use their name instead. And you go, yeah, I'm purposely not using their name.
Ageism getting it on the action's pretty funny though.
Well, they have to, right?
So colonialism one, they only have one for colonialism and they
Which
go.
makes no sense.
It makes no sense, right?
I feel like all they do is harp about colonialism.
And they said Philippines of the Republic. Instead of saying the Philippine Islands, you need to say Philippines or the Republic of Philippines. So that's all they have in the colonialism section, which I'm surprised they couldn't come up with more colonialism one. I bet you their boss was sort of surprised when they said the colonial section, and they go, obviously this is going to be a mother lode. You know what? Let me sit down.
No, you can't say mother lode.
Yeah. But you go, this is going to be a bit of a, obviously we got some time here because you're about to do the colonial section. I'll go to the bathroom. They come back. All I have is Republic of Philippines instead of Philippine Island. You go,
that's it.
Okay. They go, you had
the only colonizing that's been done?
You had 1 year to come up with colonial things that were bad, and that's the only one you came up with.
But you can't fire anybody in these jobs.
Oh, you can never.
You can't even say
someone.
fire.
These are life positions that you got to point it to, I think. Brave, they do not like. And that's because, but it was brave so weird because it's a positive one.
Yeah, but it perpetuates the stereotype of the noble, courageous savage, which is like, I feel like not such
Bury
a
the
bad
hatchet. So it's just a bunch of Indian ones. Geronimo. So if you're jumping off a thing, you don't say Geronimo, but what would they say? They don't like you calling Chief. Hey, what's up, Chief? No good for Chief. So instead of Geronimo, this is what they say. None. Only used when discussing the historical figure. So how about this? When you're jumping off, you go, none!
So that's only, you just got none.
None, only when you're discussing the historical
what do you
figure.
yell off a diving board? They're not really.
That's the best when
options.
they just take one away and they don't give you a new one.
Yeah.
I think you have to think of you have to say like a person that was that was courageous, not brave, from America. Like you have to say Christopher Columbus.
I don't think so. Right?
No, so
Abraham Lincoln.
Maybe something like that. So instead, when you're jumping off a bridge, you say Abraham
Anthony Fauci. That's what it is.
Guru is not good because the Buddhist and Hindu traditions, the word is a sign of respect. So this casually negates the original value. So they're saying, because basically when you're saying someone's like a guru, they're like, he's not an actual like dawned upon guru.
Well, yeah, it's not like the definition guru.
That would be the funniest thing to do. Oh, this guy's like a guru when it comes to computer. And you go, who made him a guru? And you go, what? You go, is he an actual guru? Well, then don't say that. And you go, can we get a check, please? I'm going to dinner with Anthony Cuomo.
So funny because some of them are like so vague, and then some of them are like, yeah, you're not supposed to say too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Don't say that much. Low man on the totem pole. They go, he's lacking seniority on the warpath. So whatever. There's none of the things.
Can't say tribe though. Jews like to say tribe a lot.
Pocahontas, that one's very specific.
And Black Hebrew Israelites like to say tribe a lot.
Powwow, spirit animal. But they were all good sayings.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that
think about the bloodshed that was needed to have these sayings.
Do you think that like a lot of Native people hate these sayings?
No.
I feel like
I think this is all. They think this is all ridiculous.
Okay, tribal knowledge. So the colonialism has nothing, and the native has like 100%. So you can't say tribe, like find your tribe or whatever. They must hate that book. Mm-hmm. Friends, networks, family support systems.
Yeah.
So that's gender based. Here we go. Those are always my least favorite when they're just like no native stuff. They could just say at the top, no native stuff.
Yeah, no native stuff, Chief.
I'll tell you what, Chief, you're not going to say any more native stuff, all right?
I love that you can't say preferred. That's actually really
so you can't say preferred pronouns. You have to say pronouns.
Or yeah. Because which is funny. Well, they go, the word preferred suggests that non-binary gender identity is a choice and a preference, but like they've been saying sexual preference forever.
Okay, so yeah.
Right. And then I guess, I don't know. Balls to the wall.
So they don't like anything with the word balls in it.
No.
That's a big stuff that they don't like.
At least they're somewhat consistent where they say you can't say chairman or chairwoman.
Well, here's funny with balls to the wall, though. They said it attributes personality traits to your anatomy, but it's like, there is a fact that men have more testosterone. So it's like their thing in there, they graze over that you go balls to the wall. It's like that says that, men have somehow more risk-taking behavior. And you're just like, that's true. And they go, it's not. And you go, you're a university. You're a university telling me that there's
they don't like balls. You can't say hermaphrodite.
Men have riskier behavior. That's a fact.
Hermaphrodite just became intersex.
Chairman and chairman.
But here's the thing. They say this term has historically been used as a slur against LGBTQ plus people. So you go, okay, so we're going to start making intersex a slur. How does that sound?
Yeah, how about that?
And then you go, what now?
Now what? What are you going to do?
Back to hermaphrodite, I guess. You can't say ladies.
What does it say? Why you can't say
ladies? It says use
ladies?
everyone instead.
Hey, everyone.
Well, because not everybody's a lady, even if you think it's ladies.
So
Even ladies and gentlemen does not cover everybody.
that's Def Jam comedy right now. It's like, fellas. Now all the fellas in the place, put your hands up. Now everyone also put your hands up. Everyone minus the fellas, put your hands up.
Here's another one.
Everyone who's not a fella, put your hands up.
You're not allowed to say landlord or landlady.
Where's that?
Next one. Instead you're supposed to say money grubbing Jew.